What's going on, y'all? It is a Rainy Storm checking in for the Venus sign series. Venus in the 10th house to be exact. I am your cosmic rootwork astrologer specializing in evolutionary astrology. So if you are interested in learning about your past lives and your current mission and destiny here in this lifetime, you can definitely hit me up for a personal reading. At this moment in time, I'm doing readings on a donation and tip and barter and trade basis. So you can definitely hit me up at the links below in that description box, okay? And also make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, comment down below, and share this video, and also hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting up, okay? And also I think that's all we got going on here. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, you already know what it is, what it's good. I hope y'all been great, and let's go ahead and hop into it. So we're going to talk a little bit about Venus, and then we'll talk about Venus in the 10th house to be exact. So Venus is the planet we talk about. First off, it rules over Taurus, and it also rules over Libra. This is where we talk about like our financials. This is where we talk about the things that bring us joy, pleasure, luxury, receptivity, our relationship to the divine feminine, our relationship to the women, the relationship to I wouldn't even say ourselves, the value that we see in ourselves, in the ways in which we interact with that value outside of ourselves too, because Venus is like holding up a mirror to the self. It's like holding up a mirror, because Venus is usually, we could also see as like marriage, partnerships, intimate connections and relationships are people in which you're committed to in those ways. And then also where we see, like I said, the mirrors, you know what I mean? And so yeah, that's what we see with Venus. With the 10th house, it is the Capricorn house, and usually what we see is where legacy and purpose, as we are moving out of this capitalist society, we do see career, right? The career that you're having in your life. But this is like, what is the legacy that you want to leave behind? And legacy can mean many things, okay? So take that as you will, but definitely has to do with like public figures, definitely has to do with public image, the ways in which you see yourself on a public stature. Usually, like I said, on all videos, you want to check the sign that it's in, your Venus is in, and you want to check what is in aspect to your Venus and what conversations is being had with your Venus as well, because it'll tell you a little bit more about what's happening here. And if you need support on that, you already know, check me out. All right. But what we see here with Venus in the 10th house is this is where you can see somebody who puts a lot of stock into their public image and the way that they're coming off into the world. They kind of want to be seen as somebody who usually an authority of some sort, of something, just being in a space and being in a place where you are seen as, and when I say 10th house, usually careers can definitely be like CEOs, boss, big boss, anything that has to do with like structured managerial positions. 10th house is very wide range, but it usually has to do with, being, usually because it's at the top of the chart, usually like a public eye or public face of something. You don't have to be, but usually you are like the owner, like the go-to person that people come to for business and things like that. Like I said, the authority of whatever it is that you do. And so you could just put a lot into that. You could feel like when you're really in line with your mission or purpose that you set out for yourself, you can feel really, really good about that. When it comes to business and contractual agreements, they usually go pretty well when it comes to Venus in the 10th house. You're very invested in your life's work, your life's mission, and what it is, like I said, that you want to leave behind in the world, especially with Venus here, usually with Venus here. This is where you can see public speakers, because like I said, it's like public face, public standing, usually wealthy in pursuits, goal-oriented, and definitely financial budgets, solidifying the finances and things is definitely big with Venus in the 10th house as well. You can also see Venus in the 10th house people who usually have like whatever it is that they do for, like whatever your life purpose is, it's usually like a long stretch of it. Even if you end up changing it, usually Venus in the 10th house might not, but usually they know that, like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to leave to the world. Like, so it's usually like at a long stretch of these things. Usually when it comes to, even, I could even say law, but I would put that more so in the 7th or the 8th house. More so when it comes to, like, I don't know, like, let's say you get sued, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, or whatever, you know, because 10th house also has to do with, like, the governments and structures of those things. So let's say you're in court for something or whatever. Venus in the 10th house usually indicates that, like, the wins and the gains from that will be pretty on point as well too, with Venus here. But like I said, you want to definitely check 7th, and you also want to check 8th house, because that's other people's things and other people's money as well here with Venus here. You can also see somebody, because, you know, 10th house can also be real estate. So when it comes to property, it's on the opposite end of the 4th house, which is Cancer. You could see somebody who might actually have properties. A lot of, you know, Venus can come through actual residencies and properties, and, you know, basically being able to invest in those things, and then also seeing the return. Because Venus in the 10th house, let's be honest, like, you want to see the returns in things. You want to build on whatever it is that you're creating and what it is that you're making. You don't just want to see it go to waste. And also, Venus in the 10th house can be very hard when it comes on, very hard on themselves when it comes to the things that they are receiving, and how they're also being perceived as well with Venus in the 10th house. So try not to put too much stock. I know it's easier said than done, especially when you're, like, in the public eye. Ooh, I don't know what that was. When you're in the public eye. Oh, it was my lip gloss, but I don't know where she is. Oh, when you're in the public eye, but also knowing that it probably is your life's purpose and mission to be front and center stage and things like that. Like, you have something to say it. If you have something that you want to do it, and kind of watch the chips fall, you know, where they may lay. All right, with Venus in the 10th house. So that's what I have for y'all. It's Rainy Storm, checking in, checking out. Y'all make sure y'all checked out those links below, personal readings below. Okay, like, share, subscribe, comment, notification bell, and I will see y'all on the next video. Venus in the 11th house. I already know what it is. It's Rainy Storm, checking in, checking out. Deuces.